What's going on, everybody? I'm Steven, and this is Build Brothers. Last night, my nephew and I worked on the car, and we made some good progress. We actually mocked up the radiator support and got it ready for welding. I have it clamped down right now. He also helped me remove all the old stuff, the old pieces of radiator support. I have some fast motion video for that. Battery died mid. I didn't realize it. So you don't see us mocking it up, but you can see it now. So I'm going to show you, and then we'll cut to the actual. That's what we did. We actually made some good progress. So I have it. I sent out a message to the welder, the team that will hopefully come out and finish this for me, and then they're going to come out and weld it. They did say, if those guys are actually the ones that come, that they will let me record them welding it. And then I'll throw their company name in, so if you guys think they did a good job and you're in the PA area, you might be able to reach out to them for some, for a job that you might have for them. But that is the game plan for the next video, to have them go ahead and come out and weld that. Once that welding's done, the only things besides putting the car back together is getting the SRS system, the airbag system, sent out, which I want to tear that down today, as well as the seatbelt. I have to send that out because the explosive charge in it went ahead and blew when the airbag went off. So if I get those sent out and replaced, and I have the welder come out and do that, then it's just going to be reconstruction. Putting everything back. I got to put the radiator back in, the air conditioning condenser, and connect everything. And there's also a wire. I'm not sure what it's for. I traced it. I'll actually show you that now. But let me show you the radiator support as well as the wire that's damaged. And I don't know exactly what it goes to. So that's the only thing that's holding me up. That's going to take some investigation. If any of you guys know what it is and you want to comment, let me know. That would be awesome, but I'll show you where we're at right now. So here's the radiator support. It's obviously black, which shows you what is new. This goes over to here. This is what needs to be welded. So I'm gonna use a flap disc on the sander or something like that, maybe a wire brush. Clear off this black paint here so that we can bond these two together. Same thing over here. I gotta remove this sticker here. So this is clamped on pretty good. It's solid. Down here, there's obviously a gap here, if you can see that. I have these little brackets that I bought from Ford. They connect from here to here, so I need to wire brush this, get this clear. They're going to weld the bracket to here and to here. And then as far as this goes, the only thing I have to do is the hood latch. The hood latch from the previous radiator support. I might have to bend it a little bit. I have it around here somewhere. I'm going to put that on there, and then I'm going to mock the hood up. Set the hood on it, and make sure that it connects right. If not, I'll make the slight adjustments to it, and then I'll make sure that's in place before they weld it, obviously. The piece that's damaged, the wire that's damaged, is right here. If you look, it is I don't know if you can see this. See if I can pull this up for you to see. It is a yellow, it's like a brown, I would say orange, with like a brown stripe in it and a black wire. This was ripped off in the accident. I have no idea what it goes to. You can see here, there's two wires, two bare wires. Had this little plastic covering on it, which I'll put back. But yeah, that's it. The rest of the things go to sensors. I have a couple grounds I got to hook up, and a bunch of sensors. I did get some weird codes, and it might just be that the sensors aren't hooked up, I'm hoping. And the only other thing is, and this is for the air conditioning, so it doesn't really matter, but this solid line here, it might be kinked. I'm not sure. I have to look at another car, but pretty hard bend there. And I'm not sure if that's natural or if that would need to be replaced. But again, it's for the air conditioning condenser, so it doesn't really matter. Because if it's broken, it's air conditioner. I don't need it. Obviously, it's a want, but my main mission right now is to get this thing inspected, and air conditioning is not required for that. So my main mission right now is to get the seatbelt out and the SRS system out. So that's what we're going to work on. We're going to work on that, and then after that I'll show you our teardown of the radiator stuff, and then yeah, and then we'll work towards the next mission. So let's see what we can get done today. Alright, so if anybody needs to remove the front seat's seatbelt, here's how it works. Your seatbelt actually comes out of the back like this. Now, I have this stuff disconnected, but I want to show you how this works. So, the way it works is this. This plastic piece on top here is just set on, it's kind of clipped on. So what I did is I got kind of a pry tool. Now you don't want to yank on it too hard because you don't want to damage your plastic, but it just pops loose. There's a couple clips which I can show you on here. If you look at it, there is one clip in the corner here, right here, and then there's one here, and then one here, and then the rest just kind of pops. So you just pop each part up, and then that comes off. After that, then you have this, which this is kind of clipped around the edge here. So you pop that loose, and then this starts coming off. I did not completely disconnect this yet. So in the back, there's something holding it back here, and I'm honestly not sure what it is. So it's one of the clips somewhere that's still holding. But what we're really concerned with is not necessarily the plastic piece. It's more so what's inside here. So we'll set this light up here so we can shine it down in, figure out what is holding it. So down in here, if you look way down in there, that right there is what we want out. That is our seat belt. I think it's called a pre-tensioner, and that is what has blown. And the reason we know it has blown is if we pull on this, it will not let loose. That should come loose when I pull on it. That's kind of when you pull on your seatbelt. That's what lets loose. Now, when you have an accident, you want to go around the car and make sure that none of the other ones are tight. And for this car, luckily, it's just this one. Now, you need to disconnect this all, pull that out, and then I have to ship that out for repair. And that's what we're going to do right now. So let's go ahead and get that going. I did pull this off, but for anybody that's curious, there's a Torx bit. I believe it's called a Torx bit. Right there. And for me, mine was a T45. That's what fit me right here. I used a ratchet. I think this is what, a 3/8 inch ratchet. Went ahead and undid that. So that comes out. Now, also, down at the floor, there's another, which I don't know if you can see it. See if we can get down in there and show you. The seat is kind of blocking it right now. If I can get enough light down there. You look way down in here. If I can open this up. See that down there? That is also a Torx, and I hope, because I just bought this, it was, for your reference, you can buy it in the tool section of Lowe's. That tool costs, I think it was about $5 at Lowe's, so it wasn't too bad, I guess, for a single, but it's only, you know, you gotta make sure it's the right size for yours. Luckily, they'll let you return it and swap it out, and it's not that big of a deal, but anyway, I'm gonna use that and loosen that bottom one out. Sorry for my terrible camera work. This is a super tight space. Go ahead and see if that's the right size for that. And it appears that it is. Yep. So I'm gonna take that out quick. See if I can get a better angle for you guys. Alright, so now the final part, again, is this pre-tensioner. I need to get in there which means I'm probably going to have to take apart a lot of this interior, which really stinks that I can't get this, get the convertible top down. I don't know if I have to pull this completely out or what I need to do. It seems to be wedged back in there. I have to remove these seats. It's not too hard to remove the seats, but I don't know. I'll be right back and let you know what I gotta do. Okay, lots of progress, lots of chaos. So I'm gonna spin the camera around and you're gonna see what I mean. I had to remove the lower back seat and a lot of the molding in the car to get to what I needed. And I'll show you what I did. So as I turn you around, you're gonna see I have the back seat just kind of propped up there, and I had to remove the speaker as well as this upper molding and this lower molding, and what we're looking for is actually right in front of the camera. If you see where the seatbelt goes down into here, this guy. Now if you look deep into there you might be able to see it. Try to point it out to you. Let's see if I can do this. Down, way down in there above my finger. I don't know if you can, let's see if I can get some more light on there. There's a bolt down there. There's a really big Torx bit. I hope it's the same size as the one I was using. Problem is, I need to find an extension because it's really deep in there. My wrench isn't going to do it. So I need to go find that. That may release it. And that's the piece I have to ship out. So I'm going to try to get that out. And we'll see if we can let you know how it goes. On that note, I actually had to use I don't know if you guys have ever used body clips or had to remove them. There's little plastic things that kind of look like press-in screws, and pretty much every time I try to remove them I use like a flathead screwdriver, and I end up mangling them and end up ruining them. So I figured I'd look on Amazon and see if there was an option to, I know this is awkward, I look ridiculous I'm sure, but see if there was an option to, you know, find a tool or something so I don't ruin them all. And turns out there was, and it, you know, it was one of those cheap ones, those overseas, you know, and I was like, meh, but it was like $12 or something, and it came with 500 body clips and the tool to remove them. Now, I don't know if you can see this, let's see if you guys can see, but this is the tool they gave, and one of the body clips, let's see if I can show it to you, one of the body clips, I kind of popped down, kind of tossed it back, I can't even see it, but it held down that little guy right there, and it was a pretty big body clip, and this tool popped it right out. Now it was like $12, and I will show you the kit in a second, but I recommend that thing. I mean, I don't know how the body clips are, but it popped it out, did not damage it at all, and it took like 1 second. Whereas with a screwdriver I end up like prying it, and it ends up being like 4 pieces of plastic that come out. So for $12, man, that was a good deal. I wish I had it before I took my side skirts off and stuff, because I, you know, ruined a bunch of clips, but I think the ones that it come with, which I'll show you in a second, will take care of that. So just a little mini review. I recommend it. I'll put a link in the description for the body clips. Check them out. Alright, so here we go. I'll put this light up here, hopefully you can see a little better, but here's the kit as it comes. So here's the box. You know, it's kind of generic. It says Van Jing. That's the whatever branding, if you will. 415 piece plus fastener remover. I think it was like $12. So again, this is the remover. And then if you look at this gives you a listing of all the kind of fasteners that come with it. And as you can see, I mean, there's a ton in here. I'm going to put a link to it if you're looking for body clips or something, because I'm sure they're not cheap from Ford or whatever company. I'm sure these are universal to all car brands, but I mean, the piece I just took out was very similar to that one. And I don't know how good the lighting is, but let's see if we can bring it over to the light. So, yeah, I don't know if that's much better. But anyway, there is pretty much every size and assortment in here. I'm sure I won't use most of them, but I don't know how the clips are. I didn't try them yet. If you keep watching, I'm sure we'll talk about that when I have to replace a couple, but just the tool alone is worth the $12. So, alright, now I'm going to try to remove that last one. Alright, as you can see, I got it out. It was a real pain. Let me tell you that if you're doing this on a 05 to 09 Mustang, I highly recommend getting the right tool. It was a T45 bit, Torx bit, but I needed an extension, couldn't find one, and as you probably know by now, I'm a little bit impatient, so I wedged the ratchet down in there, and I could move it maybe a millimeter every time, so I got one click on the ratchet, and it took me like 10 minutes of very annoying slow turn, you know, to get it out. And one of those things where you just wish you had the right tool for the job. Anyway, as you can see, it is now out of there. I think you can see. See that bolt way down in there? That is the bolt that I removed. And now I'm going to try to find the SRS module, which from what I read is somewhere around the center console. So I'm going to search for it, try to find it, and then